Hi there, welcome back in the studio. This video is brought to you by Gospel Beats at gospelbeats.com. Today we're going to take a look at the most misused technique in the music industry, compression. This was born with the industry itself, so it's been used for like 60 years, 70 years. It's widely recognized as the most impactful on the mix, and it's still the most misused one. So theory is often overlooked, but when you get into compression, you need to understand what's going on kind of behind the scenes, I would say. So you need to understand a little bit about the concept. Okay, some physics are involved in this. Don't worry, we're not getting too complicated. We're doing, as we always do here at Gospel Beats, the real thing you can apply in real life. So I'll keep stuff super simple. As you can see, compressors are kind of intimidating on their own. Okay, so you have a lot of knobs here, a lot of stuff going on. You have the digital ones, okay, with the typical digital look, like this one. This is the C1 from Waves. This is the onboard compressor from Cubase, okay? You have a vintage look like this. You have a console-like look with this. So you have needles, knobs, stuff like that. You can have some kind of a in-between look like the two. This is a Native Instrument solid bass compressor. They all do the same thing, okay? The analog ones are more fashionable, more expensive as well, and they have a slightly more colorful sound, slightly more bite to it. But generally speaking, they do exactly the same thing, and they can get pretty complicated, okay? So we're using an analog-like model here. So we're disengaging all these bad boys here. We're going with this one, okay? This is an analog modeling one. I use this for educational videos like this because it's super simple, okay? You don't have to buy this, okay? It's super cool, but I'm using this not for his sound or for his crazy mixing capabilities. I'm just using this because it has all the basic features of a compressor, and it's super clear to see, okay? So typically you have at least 5 out of these 6 knobs here, okay? So you have a threshold, an attack parameter, a ratio parameter, a makeup or gain parameter or makeup gain parameter, and the release parameter, okay? The only one really changing is this one. It has 2 or 3 names, but generally it's makeup or makeup gain or just gain. So what's compression? Compression is just an audio tool you can use to even out a performance and, generally speaking, highlight the characteristics of a sound. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You already need a sound, so you need some EQing on it. If you haven't already, check out our videos on the channel on EQing, and then go back here to kind of cover the next part, which is compression. So always go with EQing before compression, and learn how to do that before. Then you can experiment on compression, okay? Getting back to the subject. Compression is used to modify the loudness of the signal, and it's modifying the relationship within the soft part, so the low loudness parts, and the high loudness parts, okay? Every performance has soft parts and loud parts. You want sometimes to have more coherence, to have more consistency throughout the performance. The compressor was invented to even out performances. Okay, it was used from the beginning of the audio mixing industry. Okay, and it's just used for that, to create consistency between the soft parts and the loud parts of the signal. For instance, if you sing a song, you're not going to sing it at the same exact volume. Even if you're a Grammy Award winner singer, you're not going to sing at the same level throughout the whole performance. The same goes for the drumming, okay? If you call a Grammy Award drummer or a genius of drumming, he's going to play a very cool song, but from time to time, you're going to find a little bit of variation between soft parts and loud parts, okay? And I don't mean intentional variations, okay? For course, Of course, the chorus is going to be louder than a verse or than a soft bridge. I'm talking about consistency between single hits on a snare, for instance. Okay, so basically speaking, you're applying this to enhance the feeling of having a consistent groove. Okay, it's used a lot on drums. Okay, and it's used a lot on vocals as well. You can experiment with it on any kind of instrument. It's also used a lot by guitar players to even out their pick strokes. Okay, so it's just about evening out a performance and highlighting a different mood you want to give to the performance. Okay, you may like more dynamic performance, and then you can apply just a little bit of compression, and you may need, for instance, a very consistent, very repetitive performance. Okay, so maybe in jazz you don't want to use too much compression, but in funk music, maybe hip hop, R&B, Latin music, even heavy metal music, you may want more consistency in the rhythmic part, and that's where compression comes in handy. Okay, because the other way to do it is to manually vary the volume, or to do some kind of automation, or to operate on the fader like they used to do back in the day. So it's kind of an automated performance enhancer, I would say. So it's not the holy grail of mixing. Okay, it was invented just to help the performance out. Okay, that was it was used back in the day. You can get more creative nowadays, but generally speaking, that's what you use it for. Okay, it's not enhancing the signal by itself. You do that with EQing. That's why you need proper EQing before the compression, because you're highlighting the signal with compression. Okay, and you're bringing on all its characteristics up front, because if you have a louder volume throughout, you're also going to hear much more nuances, much more detail on the track. So you need to have it recorded properly, played properly, of course, and EQ'd properly. So it's not a thing that can make up for mistakes. It's a technique you use to highlight what's already good. You use it to make something cut through the mix. You use it to even out the performance, to have a steady bass, for instance, or a steady kick drum, or very even vocal performance. So it's a thing you use just to polish the signal. It's not a thing you use to magically solve all of your problems. You should address them by yourself. There's no, black magic in music. There's no spell you can cast on your mix to make it sound great. You just need to understand a few concepts. And the first thing you gotta learn is that compression is a powerful tool, but in order to make it work, you need to introduce it only if you have already done some proper operations on your signal. So EQ first and then compression to highlight it. It's not going to work the other way around. Now, if you want to learn how to mix with compression, how to apply compression to drums, vocals, and guitars, and some other instruments as well, stay with me, stay with us as Goldspill Beats, and I'm seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.